Hey everybody, Rob Vino here, and it is Thanksgiving week, a week full of football, college basketball, pro basketball, all sports underway. And we're going to take a look at a Friday college football game here. Texas Tech at Texas. The Longhorns open up here 14-point favorites, 54 the total. Line stays the same so far, at least, and the total has crept down to 53 and a half. We'll probably see more movement in this line in total throughout the week. We're going to get to that game, but before we do, let's get to the special from Wagertalk.com for this Thanksgiving week. This only happens once a year. Wagertalk offers this Thanksgiving week special one time every year. It's a $69, 7-day all access pass. $69, 7 days, get the full week. Get NFL, get college football, college basketball, NBA basketball, any play I release. All 5% plays included as well. It's one of the top weeks of football betting, obviously, from noon till midnight. If you're on the East Coast, absolutely loaded with sporting events, making it very convenient for you. You can get the plays as soon as they are released. As soon as I release a play, you'll get it immediately. So once again, 7-day all access package, just $69, less than $10 a day for this Thanksgiving week. Full of football from start to finish, full of basketball from start to finish. Pick it up now at wagertalk.com, your Thanksgiving Day special, $69, 7-day all access pass. Let's get into the Texas game now. The biggest question I had when I looked at this game to start handicapping it was, can Texas Tech run the football effectively against this Texas run defense? Texas Tech, obviously under second-year head coach Joey McGuire, they've sort of turned tables on how they play offense, and it's all predicated and starting with their running game with Taj Brooks. If they can't run, they have a little bit of difficulty, and Texas owns the best run defense in the Big 12 this year, and it's not even close. Texas is 42 yards per game better than second place Iowa, where defensive rush yards allowed per game are concerned. They've only allowed 82.7 yards per game. It's going to be difficult for Texas Tech to run the football, and can Baron Morton and company lead with the pass game and then follow with the run game? I'd have my questions about that happening here. There's a couple other sizable defensive advantages here for the Texas Longhorns. They're the league's best red zone defense. Once teams get inside the 20 against Texas, they're just 21 for 31 at scoring, 67.7%. That's best in the Big 12. Better than that, the 31 trips opponents have gotten into the red zone against Texas, they've only allowed 12 touchdowns. So that brings it all the way down to 38.7%. Those are really good numbers as opposed to the Texas Tech red zone numbers, which are not as good, ranked 11th out of 14 teams in the Big 12, 40 trips inside the red zone against the Red Raiders. 85% of those have resulted in scores, 55% TD. So certainly Texas in good shape there as far as advantages statistically are concerned. One more that I have to throw out there that I noticed that was sizable is the difference between defensive, some people call it havoc. I'll use havoc for the sake of the spot here on the show. But what I did was I combined sacks, quarterback sacks plus takeaways for each of these teams. You take a look at Texas Tech, 18 sacks, 12 takeaways for a total of 30. The Texas Longhorns, 28 sacks, 18 takeaways for a total of 46. That's a plus 16 advantage, very strong advantage for the Texas Longhorns there. Let's throw in now that Texas Tech has been shaky on the road so far this season. Yeah, they do have a 3-point win, 16-13 on the road at Kansas. Let's not forget that Kansas had to start a third-string true freshman quarterback, Connor Ballard, in that game. He was making his first start. Tech had a 16-0 lead, had to survive that one, barely got out of there with a 16-13 win. Their other road win this year was against 3-8 Baylor. They've been a hapless mess all season long. Blake Shapen did play in that game. He returned after a 3-week absence for an MCL injury. Didn't make a difference. Texas Tech got that one. Let's look at the other 3 road games that Texas Tech has been in so far this season. They've lost, not just lost. I'm going to use lost to the closing line. Take the closing line and see how far off it was. They missed the closing line by 14 points at Wyoming when they got buried. They missed the closing line by 13 points at West Virginia and by 16 at BYU. All double-digit losses to the closing line for Texas Tech on the road against those three teams, none of which are the Texas Longhorns. So in the end, I think a couple of things here. Texas Tech has a 3-game winning streak, but again, barely. They beat UCF last week 24-23. UCF had an extra point blocked, a game-tying extra point blocked. They got a 71-yard touchdown pass, closed it to 24-23, got their extra point blocked. Otherwise, that game would have been in overtime, and who knows what happened. And prior to that, as I mentioned earlier, Texas Tech got away with a 16-13 win in Lawrence, Kansas against a third-string true freshman quarterback in his first start. The Red Raiders got their bowl eligibility last week. I think the motivation clearly stands in Texas's corner for this one. Let's not forget Texas is playing for a spot in the Big 12 championship game. For those who don't know, the Big 12 had to come out and clarify their rules for tiebreakers. Some people assume that Texas had already clinched. The Big 12 says, no, not quite yet. You have to win another game to do so. These are our rules. So Texas is playing for a spot in the Big 12 title game here. I think that clearly gives them the motivational edge. And one more time, this wide receiving duo that Texas possesses, A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy, with quarterback Quinn Ewers back, I think it's too much explosiveness. I'm going to look for this to end somewhere in the 38-17 range. We'll gladly lay the 14 with Texas here. So for Friday, going to play Texas -14 at home over Texas Tech. One more time, I'd like to just let everybody know, Wagertalk, 7-day, all access, $69 special. Remember to smash the like button here. All comments are welcome underneath after the video, and I will return all comments, reply for you guys. So have a good Thanksgiving. Let's go Texas Longhorns. Thanks for watching. This is Rob Vino saying thanks to all of you.